Yep. So eventually, again, classically this is taught with 4 springs. In between each trade, you take a spring off. But if you're only starting with 3 springs, the spring comes off after a round, and then flat and reach and twist, you'll learn soon, are all the same. Okay, so you eventually end up with 2 yellow springs. Okay? So here we go. So we lift up. You imagine you're on the mat. Remember how hard this was? Okay? So we lengthen out. We don't lower our heels on this one. In fact, get your heels much higher, Jen, and wrap those thighs so you feel your legs. And then draw back in. Now with your heels high, can you extend fully? Press out. Lift out of your low back. And draw in. Good. Push through your toes, Sarah. Toes connected with the bar. I know you don't have grips though, so be careful. Press. Lift out of your low back, Jen. There it is. And then draw in. One more time, you're lifting out of your pelvis so your psoas can have some help with these springs. Draw everything in. You can step off. Fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay. That's it for stomach massage. Next is leg circles and frog. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
2 yellow. And the handles.
Trade out for the loop. So what you'll do is you put the pad back, you can toss it, that's also an option, or just, Sarah, drape it over the back edge, and then you can trade out your handles. Yep. Okay. So what's the reps here?
5 to 10.
5 to 10. That should be at each, like 5 to 10 of each, because you'll do frogs and leg circles.
What is ROM?
What's that?
V full ROM.
Oh, range of motion. Good question. Yep. So we'll start with 10 of those. So Jen, so set up for this. Go ahead and bend them. I'm going to teach you all this together. So bend your knees and go ahead and have your feet resting on the foot bar, and I'm going to have you grab just below the hardware with both hands. Okay. So get yourself set up into frog. Heels together, Pilates V. You draw both legs in, and then you pull both straps, the big straps right now, to your feet on the inside of your legs. Yep, and then you just kind of lasso up your feet with the big straps. The reason you do both is because you're more likely to keep your pelvis a little more stable than doing one and then twisting to find the strap, pull down, you're anchored, you're ready to go. Okay, go ahead and just frog the legs out and in, going for 10. So this is cool because the choreography here is pretty easy, so I can start to teach. Let's find your Pilates V. Right? Now remember my finger in your low back. As you bend in, we do not load here. So can you lengthen your tail feathers a smidge? Think of, yeah, like you have space between these vertebrae, and then you bend your knees in, and nothing changes here as you press out. You don't load my finger. Yep, and then you draw in. Yep, beautiful. So that's the same as me saying lengthen your tail feathers, wrapping the thighs. Look at this, beautiful. Now keep squeezing my fist while you wrap your thighs wider. Hey, there. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I'm going to invite just a little sort of, yeah. As you breathe out, you can soften the ribs. Your throat can lengthen. Okay. I'm not sure rep-wise where you're at, but let's do one more. And then circles, I'm just going to read it verbatim for circles. Draw the legs in and up just below 90 degrees. So your legs are going to come in and up. Open, circle out, draw down, around, and up. Repeat 5 to 10. Relax the foot. So there's no kind of active ankle right now. You repeat 5 to 10 times and then change direction. Okay? So there it is. The choreography is easy in this, right? So what I get to do is now you get to receive cues. Okay? I want you to soften the knees and imagine you're initiating the circle from up here. Your foot will follow your femur. Don't think about your feet right now. It's like, oh, I'm just opening up the groin while my pelvis stays stable. Yeah. I'm gonna invite you to soften your knees just a smidge, and then think of, yeah, so you're gonna pull the leg down, and I want you to lengthen off my finger here. So it's like almost like your tail feathers. I'm gonna ask you to arch your low back a little. Yeah, and then as your legs come up, you don't load, and then you pull without loading. It's so subtle, but this is loaded every time you move your leg. So, hey, better, better. And then you pull from here, and this stays like you haven't added any weight to the scale of my fingers. Once you've done 10, you can change direction.
I already did that one.
Okay, perfect. So this is proof that I only pay attention to your spine. I have no idea what else is going on. Could have 30 reps, I have no idea. Okay, yeah, so the knees soften. And the reason I'm inviting you to a soft knee right now is so the hamstring doesn't pull on your pelvis so much that you can't keep it anchored. Yeah, and you can relax if you need. Does that pull on your back at all?
No.
Good. And once you've done, you can come in and take those straps off your feet. Oh, no, nope, come in the same way. Both knees bend like a frog, grab below the hardware, take both off your feet, and then you return the carriage safely. Yeah, that was awesome.
Switch your legs.
Yes, and step off. Now again, ipsilateral, most positive, that's what it's called. Advanced exercise is splits. Splits is one leg going this way, one leg going the other way. We do all different versions. It's awesome. You're going to get to learn right before Christmas time. Thanksgiving time would be great. You'll go to your house parties and be like, okay. When you take off one strap at a time, usually it's mindless. It's like, oh, my goal is to get the strap off. You're actually inviting the spine into a split. If you're not anchored, again, the chances of you hurting yourself, you guys, is slim. But also, eventually, especially when you get the order, the transitions, the fluidity, the flow of it, the transitions become part of the work. Wow, you're off, and then you move through your day like that. It's like the fairies without catching them in between the book pages. It's like it's all the ownership. You're owning every moment, and that is a huge ask, right? Okay, so that's frog and leg circles. Okay, so read through it one more time. It's like, this is the setup. This is me setting up the equipment and my body.
You're talking frogs, and we're still.
Yeah, reading that, read the action, the reps. Just start, like the words eventually become just embedded in your psyche. And then you just learn it like the alphabet. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, knee stretches. Okay. So one thing here that's just a nuanced thing, I didn't write it down, but when we have the loops here, actually you put it on the short loops, this will be fine, but say you put it on the long loops, sometimes those things drag, so if you step off for a minute, I'm gonna show you, the metal just scrapes along the floor. I don't think yours are gonna do it. Sometimes if they're too long, they'll just scrape. So you can, this is, again, me being a little OCD, you can just toss those in there. And sometimes when we do the full series, you don't have to hook them back on there anymore. They can just go in there, okay? All right, so setup. What's your setup? John, you can, yeah.
Middle for the bar.
Okay.
Nothing but heels.
Mm-hmm.
Basic hands on the foot bar, thumb and fingers, heels against shoulder pads, and knees slightly wider than heels, think wrap. Press body back without moving the carriage. Round C-curve arch. Extended upper back, knees off, C-curve and knees lift, and inch off the mat.
Okay, and so Jen, I'm sorry, I know you just took your glasses off, but just so you know, it's round, arched, and knees off. So for the sake of our learning, this is the first time I let you back bend. What? Cambrai, here we come, okay? You're gonna be asked to arch, and I fully expect your abdominals to have some sort of part in that, okay? So it's not just a splaying of the guts, it is, I am arched, and I'm also supported like a I don't know if a suspension bridge is the right cue, but it's something that's cradled. It's like you're extended, but there is tension, and not in a bad way, to support a force that wants to open you up that way. So go ahead, let's start with round. So you find your abs. You're also gonna find your legs, okay? So like Rebecca said, the knees are slightly wider than the feet. You both look great. The biggest thing here that is so important is, yes, the flex of the toes. The shoulder pads are not as high as I would like them to be because I'd love for your heels to have something to press into. So what I'll do is I'll put my hand there. So the cue is push your body back without moving the carriage. And that's actually not a cue, it's a setup. But push your hips back, Rebecca, without moving the carriage. Okay, now I'm gonna read the action. Inhale to press the carriage out through the heels. Exhale to return. I hear those knees cracking right away. Whew. Good.
Inhale to press.
Inhale to press out through the heels. Exhale, springs pull the carriage into return. So your hips stay way back here. Yep. Your ribs pull in. We're next gonna add kind of the Pilates into it, right? So let me get the band so we can start to pull this in. So you press your hips back as far as you can pull your ribs up and then plug your shoulders. So for you, let's get you a little further forward, plug your shoulders. Yeah, so that's about as far as you're gonna be able to go back where you can plug your shoulders. Anything above that. And now press out through your heels and then your knees pull in. Nice, and then yes, as the tempo starts to go, you're pulling in. Good. I'm gonna push down on you and you need to pull these ribs up into me actively. Pull these ribs into the band. Good. Plug your shoulders down your back and pull. Pull in. Pull in. Good. Last two, made you do like 100 of these. Can you pull there? One more. Press, pull in. Good. Okay, and then come all the way in. All right. So that's you finding your abs. And now it's arched. I've nicknamed this sexy back. Okay? So you just stick your tail feathers out. This is the flashlight. Bring the hips back. Bring the hips.
So visual, that's beautiful.
Well, we had a different cue with the flashlight from both ends. So you got flashlights shining from both ends. Now, take a minute. It's so funny. Okay, so I want you to just take a minute and be aware of your back. Do you feel everything here? It might not even be pain. But if you feel the work there, I want you in your own body to pull the abdominals in until the intensity of your abs matches the extension of the back. Doesn't mean your head drops, just means that you have that connection. And that's what becomes stable. And now you just swing the femur in like a saloon door. Because that pelvis is stable and the femurs are just swinging. Yep. Yep. And your abs are supporting the extension. Keep your tail feathers showing off, Sarah, when you do this one. Yeah. Yep. And then you have your abs match that without changing the shape of your spine. Nice. Maybe two more?
Feel that.
Yep. And one.
Quads,
Hello, quads. Do two more, Jen, where you keep your body away from the foot bar. You stay away from the foot bar. Yep. So your legs try to come as far in as possible, but you're as far away as possible as well. That is us trying to lengthen and create ROM, full range of motion. Like, how far can I pull my legs in, even though I'm way far away? Again. What is that? Oh, it's a terrible demonstration. Pulling it, and then eventually like, whoa, you know. I have to be able to keep this long though, because if this collapses, of course I can get my leg here, but I've collapsed. Can you stay long and extend without your spine dropping? And can you pull that femur in, keeping this long? Yep. Last one's knees off. Now there's a change here. I don't know if I wrote it down though. Knees off. I like to put the bar high for this one, okay? So I will write that down. High bar. I'll put change too, okay? So there's a transition there. And you can still flow with it, you know. Change to high bar. Okay. So this is a deep, 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 deep fern curl. Whew, and you, Jen, you're plugging. It's great. See what I mean? It's awesome. Cues are.
Plugging is life for me.
What's that?
Plugging is life for me.
Plugging is life for you? Yeah.
It's my daily cue to myself all the time.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you knitting the ribs, you're now plugging into something stable. It's awesome. Okay, so pull so deeply, my dear ladies. Flex your toes, Rebecca. Yeah, every time for this series. Pull so deep that your knees hover just a centimeter, literally a centimeter, not even an inch. Whew. And then lower back down. Now try to get your heels connected to the shoulder pads. I know they're higher, but just do your best. Pull deep and hover your knees just off. And you get to do 8 of these. Press out through the heels and pull in. And get those knees low, Jen, so they're hovering just above the mat. Yep. Get them lower. There it is. Press out, pull the band in. Whew. Now pull deep, straighten those arms a little more. Get those knees low, knees lower. As two. I feel like I'm coaching. Come on, knees low. And I don't know how many, like 8 to 10. That is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And then eventually the expectation is the spine that just keeps its shape. It's just like this hovering orb of a torso, and the legs are just like, phew, still work, okay? Because right now, you're probably just feeling it quite a lot in the quads, okay? That means wherever you feel it the most is what's doing the most support work. Eventually it becomes this total body. You're, you know, in this position, I sometimes wish we had like this capacity, because if you just do that, just wrap your hands on the side there, kind of like this, and just hug into the bar like it's a magic circle, right? That's why we love the magic circle, because turn your elbows out, and as you hug into the bar, you can feel your abs starting to hold some of you. I'm not gonna have you lift your knees here, but I'm just saying, like, these are the connections. So eventually when you go to lift your knees, yes, your thighs are working, but everything is working so that the thighs are not being required to extend and also hold you up.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Okay, so the very last one, before we kind of put some music on and you get to play, is pelvic lift. So go ahead and find that. Well, first, read through your knee stretches, because you just did it. Read verbatim, reps, spring setup, bar setup. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so pelvic lift. And spring load. Nice. Okay. I've learned this a couple different ways. And then I was like, oh, I know what I want you to get out of it, so that's what I'm going to teach. It's the same exercise, it's just kind of what you're focused on. Okay, so coming full circle, I want you to put energy on the inside of the heel and then wrap your thighs out. Okay, this is what I'm going to cue. This is the end of the workout. This is the end of an intermediate level workout. Okay, advanced might continue on to something else. Okay, I want you to knit your ribs into the imaginary band. Remember how we had that at the beginning of class? It's now imaginary, because you don't have it with you. Okay, so curl your pelvis under and lift your hips while you imprint the lowest rib. So there's this huge imprint. Now, this is a big tuck, but now we're gonna challenge this, okay? So start to lengthen the carriage out, pulling your ribs deep. Hold. Can you find a little length in your low back while still imprinting your breastbone? Look at that space. Good. Now you keep all that space, and then you fold in the knee, the ankle, and the hip joint. Good. Throat's long. And again, press. You imprint your breastbone. I know I said head rest up with this, but I think I'm going to have you bring it down. So bring the carriage in, ladies. Roll your spines down one bone at a time and put your head rest down. Good. And again, lengthen. Yeah, lift and lengthen. Imprint Xiphie, imprint the breastbone. Good. Lengthen out and hold it out there. See how much space you can create in your low back? Do you feel that? That is amazing. Good. And then come in. Beautiful. One more time, lengthen out. Now just for kicks and giggles, while you're out there, lengthen your spine down. Keep pressing through the heels. Good, 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 good. Rolling your spine all the way down, Rebecca, till you get to your hips. And then you can draw all the way in. Yay, nice. How you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna reset your performance for you. Grab a drink. I'm gonna hit music on for like 10 minutes. And
So running doesn't classically finish out a workout?
what's that?
Running doesn't classically finish out a workout?
Mm-mm. I always end on a running, so I've trained you poorly.
I don't think I've ever done this pelvic lift before either.
Yeah. We would have done it in like the teacher training stuff.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Which ones are we flowing with?
Why don't You too. I'll give you, yeah, we're gonna flow with the ones you've learned already. Okay, the ones you've practiced. You're gonna do footwork, 100, coordination. You know what, let's just do this because you have to leave. Yeah, you're gonna flow with me. You'll do footwork, 100, coordination.
Hold on, wait. I just want to confess. I'm teaching for 4 more hours today.
Oh yeah? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'll just be like, when you're done, you start with footwork. Just have in your brain you're coming in to do footwork.
Okay.
Okay? All right, I'm gonna give you some music. Rebecca's like, I'm just being honest, my brain, no more.
Well, and I'm like, I can tell that I'm like being a little cautious with my body. Because I'm tired and I have 4 more hours to go.
Right.
And
Oh,
so
there's-
I'm working out like, how am I going to do that every Tuesday? The next, like, how's that going to feel?
yeah.
No, we're going to find out today.
Probably as you get stronger. I mean, I know you're actively teaching though. It's not like you're just watching.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just a heavy, Tuesday's a really heavy load.
yeah. Okay. So, the game now, find a rhythm with the music. What's that?
So how's my spine?
Spine looks great. So always come in front.